1965 Melody Maker, and as you can see, I've got the fretboard all taped off, getting ready to level it. Got my leveling block here with my 220 on it, and we're going to run that across there. The nut is not on here, it was removed when I got the guitar. Last video, part 2, I showed the straight edge that I made, the notch straight edge, and as instructed, I came back and checked it after the guitar rested a couple of days. It had a little bit of a back bow in it when I checked it, and I came back and it had a little bit of just a little bit of relief to it, so I adjusted it one more time, just a hair, and made it completely level, and we're ready to level the frets with the 220 grit, and away we'll go, and we'll see how this works out. You know, from watching the Dave's videos online, I'm going to try to follow, you know, his advice and do it the way that he shows all of us and teaches us how to do it. And that's basically from one end to the other, and focus mostly on going in that direction. And we're going to give it a whirl. Here we go. As I'm doing this, I can feel a little bit of it hopping and skipping over a little bit. It's kind of giving kind of like a railroad track effect to it, a little bit of thump, thump, thump. And I'm seeing a variance in discolorations from where it's sanding it. Some areas are a little bit darker than others. I'm not really not pressing very hard, trying not to put any stress on the joint or anything like that. So. But I can see it's definitely flattening down the tops, and I'll do it a little bit more and see what we got. From a lot of the good advice that I was given from people that were kind enough to chime in, was saying that if I don't get all of the imperfections and all of the little dents out, that's not a big thing. It's better off to save a little bit of the meat for the crowning, as opposed to get too wild with the leveling. And the way it's looking is I really don't see, just with those few passes, I don't see any more of the dents. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, but the majority of them were up here. Which seemed like to be a real commonplace. Now I am seeing a couple here and there, so I'm just going to go over this just a couple more passes, and I really think it's done. I'm going to take a closer look at this, and we'll be right back. Okay, I made a couple more light passes when I was taking a closer look with the magnifier here and my cheater glasses. And as you can see from the dust, I really haven't taken that much off, but I really think, let's see if I can get you a closer look at this here. I really think that they leveled out nice. They flattened out nice with really minimal leveling. And now the next thing is going to be the crowning, and we'll give that a go next. Alright, I've ran the crowning file over the first 3 here, and I can see where it's really starting to put a nice crown to it. Have a very nice even flat on top here that when I do the polishing, it looks like it's going to polish out real nice. It's going to have a nice little crown on it. I'm counting the passes and making sure that I'm doing 8 passes over this at a time and moving on to the next one, and then I'll flip it around. And I watched in Dave's videos, he says he makes mention that he likes to first make his passes from one side all the way down and then turn it around and make the passes from the other to make sure that you get it real nice and even on both sides, and that's what I'm going to do here. So basically I'm just taking this the medium wide file, and I'm on the medium side here, and just making my swipes across here in one direction, in a pushing direction. And a lot of videos or a lot of feedback I read from the company I bought this from. You know, the people are saying that they're getting a lot of chatter, and I can see on which strokes that I get chatter and which ones that I don't, and I've kind of already got it figured out just by working this side of 4 frets on what kind of pressure to put on and what kind of stroke to take on it, so I make sure that I don't really exaggerate the chatter, you know, that you can do here. I'm watching very carefully to make sure that the file isn't rubbing on the fretboard, and it's not. I appear to have plenty of room, which has given me an indication that I've got plenty of wire left on here in order to continue doing what I'm doing, and it looks like these frets will polish out real nice. That's all I can hope for. Like I said, this is my first time at this, but it doesn't seem too awful tricky. I've watched enough video to actually know what I'm supposed to be doing. Just got to put where the rubber meets the road, I guess. So I'm going to continue on with this and do all these from this side and then the other side, and we'll take a look at it real close with the camera and see what you think. Okay, time to take a close look. We'll see if we can get some light and give you a close look at these. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch an angle for you to be able to see these or not, but it seems like the flat on the top is pretty uniform on all of them, all the way across from one end to the other, one side to the other, and seems like they cleaned up pretty nice. Minimal chatter. I'm going to go ahead and start the polish process. Start you know, at the 400 grit and work my way up to 2000. And as Dave says, I'm the shop dummy right now. So he always says he needs a shop dummy, but I guess it's me today. So here we go. Well, I've hit the first 4 frets with the 400 grit paper, and folding it off into cutting it into little strips and folding it over accordion style. And it seems like when I'm watching the scratches that are going this way from the 220, I'm watching them disappear, and I can feel the sandpaper kind of wear out, and then I fold it over and I make another fresh spot, and by the time that one wears out, I can see with my magnifier that as much of the scratches that's going to come out with this grit have now been removed. So it's a pretty good gauge. So I'm doing about the same amount of sanding with this 400 on each one. So I'm going through 2 little folds per fret, and it seems like it's like the scratches that are going a long ways here from the 220 on the sanding block are going away. And I'm going to continue on with this, and we'll check in either the 6 or 800 grit and show you what it looks like. Day 2, polishing the frets. I just finished up using the 800 grit and polishing them up, putting this little steel protector over here. I had to trim this one down so it fits in between the frets real nice. I've got this one here as is, and it fits in there real nice. And I've got one laying around here that's got the tape on it. This one here, so I can put it in on the wider ones and it stays on there real nice. So I'm moving on to the 1000 grit, and it's looking pretty good. I'm still seeing the crowns, so I don't think I'm getting too wild with the sandpaper and making too many passes over it. It's down to the point now with the 1000 grit. This is getting to be very fine. We're going to take it all the way up to the 2000 grit, and it's come along good. It's boring as all get out, but it's got to get done, and I'm just going to stick it out and finish it all up. Alright, finally, after pass after pass after pass with all the different grits of sandpaper, we've got this polished out to 2000 grit, and they're pretty shiny, nice and smooth. I haven't put a fret rocker on them to see if all that is still nice and level, if I have any high frets. I sure hope not, but yeah, you never know. I might have done something wrong, but seems to have gone all right. And that's it for the frets, I hope. You know, give you a little different view. You can just see how they're shining real nice with the light. And I don't know if I can get in there tight enough, but you can actually see that, you know, that there's crowns on there. It's an actual shape now. That you can see that that crowning file has done its job, and I didn't get too wild with the sanding to take that out of there with the coarser grits. But it seems like it's done. Hopefully all went well. I've got really no way of knowing right now, but we're going to move on to the next step, and this should wrap up this episode, part 3. Have a good one.